Python syntax. Syntax means rules. Let us understand a few basic rules about how Python code is written. Let's start with the print statement we already used in the Hello World program. Here, print is the name of the function. Inside the parentheses, we provide the value that we want to display. Since Hello World is text, we write it inside quotation marks. If we remove one of the quotation marks and run the program, Python cannot understand the statement correctly. So it gives us a syntax error. A syntax error means that the code does not follow the rules expected by Python. Let's add the quotation mark back and run the program again. Now the program works correctly. Another important thing to understand is that Python is case sensitive. This means uppercase and lowercase letters are treated differently. For example, let's change print function name to an uppercase P. Now let's run the program. As you can see, the program does not work. This is because Python knows the built-in function as print with a lowercase p. So when writing Python code, we need to use the correct capitalization. Now let's add another print statement on the next line. Python normally treats each new line as a separate statement. So the first print statement is executed first, and then the second print statement is executed. Let's run the program. As you can see, both statements are executed from top to bottom. In many programming languages, you may see a semicolon at the end of each statement. In Python, we normally do not need a semicolon. We simply write the next statement on a new line. Now there is another very important part of Python syntax that we need to understand. That is indentation. Indentation means adding spaces at the beginning of a line. At the moment, our print statements start directly from the beginning of the line, so indentation is not required here. But later, when we work with conditions, loops, functions, and other code blocks, Python uses indentation to identify which statements belong together. For example, let's write a simple if statement. We don't need to understand everything about the if statement yet. We will cover conditional statements properly later. For now, just notice the indentation. We check whether 10 is greater than 5. At the end of the condition, we use a colon. Then, on the next line, the print statement is indented. This indentation tells Python that the print statement belongs to the if statement. Let's run the program. Since 10 is greater than 5, the condition is true and the indented print statement is executed. Now let's remove the indentation and run the program again. Python gives us an indentation error because it expects an indented block after the if statement. So indentation in Python is not just for making the code look clean. It is actually part of the syntax. Typically, 4 spaces are used for one level of indentation. Most code editors, including Visual Studio Code, can handle this indentation for us when we press the Tab key. Another small syntax rule is the colon that we used after the if condition. Certain Python statements, such as if statements, loops, functions, and classes, use a colon before starting an indented block. So the main things to remember are that Python syntax defines how Python code should be written. Python is case sensitive. Statements are normally written on separate lines. Semicolons are usually not required, and indentation is used to define blocks of code. As we continue writing Python programs, these syntax rules will start becoming natural. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.